The rain fell in streaks of molten light across the twin moons of Arinder Prime. The air shimmered with static, thick with the charge of a storm and something older, something that hummed beneath the surface of the planet like a sleeping god. The ruins of the Elthery citadel loomed at the horizon, its fractured spires stabbing at the sky. Inside its silent heart stood the relic everyone in the galaxy wanted, the Sword of Valor. For 10,000 years it had rested in stone, untouched and unmovable. Legends said it was forged before the dawn of the known universe, when stars were still learning to burn. It was a weapon of impossible power, one said to bend reality to the will of the one who could claim it. Every species had tried to pull it. None had succeeded. Until tonight. Captain Rian Solas, a human from the scattered colonies of Earth's diaspora, walked across the stone floor. His boots echoed through the empty chamber. Beside him floated Kalith, the Elthery warden of the ruins, a tall, luminous being whose body shimmered like glass filled with blue light. Her voice was soft but cold. "Do you understand, human? The sword has refused kings, warlords, and prophets. What makes you believe your fragile kind can even touch it?" Rian smirked. "Because every legend starts with someone who wasn't supposed to." Kalith's translucent eyes narrowed. "Your arrogance amuses me. Humans always think destiny waits for them." He ignored her and approached the sword. It stood embedded in a block of obsidian, humming with faint light. Ancient runes pulsed along the blade like veins of living silver. The air around it distorted. Time itself seemed to bend. Kalith folded her arms. "You won't even make it to the hilt before it rejects you." The last fool who tried aged 1,000 years in a heartbeat. Rian grinned and rested his hand on the sword's hilt. The chamber trembled. For a brief second, he thought his body might disintegrate. Pain lanced through his arm like lightning, but he didn't let go. He closed his eyes, remembering what brought him here. His planet, Earth 43, was dying. The atmosphere torn by war. The oceans poisoned. Humanity had only decades left before extinction. The Sword of Valor was said to grant power over creation itself. Rian hadn't come for glory. He'd come to save his people. Kalith tilted her head, mocking. "You think your little planet deserves the power of gods?" He didn't answer. His focus deepened. The energy surged through him, tearing at his veins. Then the sword moved. A sound like thunder ripped through the citadel. The runes flared white. Kalith's luminous face froze in disbelief as the ancient stone cracked. The blade began to rise, slowly, agonizingly, from its prison. Rian gasped, holding firm as wind roared around him. The storm outside answered with bolts of lightning. Kalith took a step back, shielding her eyes. "Impossible," she whispered. "No mortal can." Then it happened. The sword broke free with a sound like a star being born. Rian fell to his knees, panting, clutching the blade that now shone with the light of galaxies. Kalith stared at him, her disbelief turning to something deeper, fear. The chamber around them shifted, the runes climbing up the walls, illuminating symbols that hadn't been seen in millennia. The Sword of Valor recognized its wielder. The middle, the test of the blade. Kalith approached cautiously. How did you do that?" Rian stood slowly. The sword hummed in his hand like it had a heartbeat. "I didn't force it. I listened." "Listened? To a weapon?" He smiled faintly. "No. To what it wanted." Kalith frowned. "You speak nonsense." But she could sense it too now, the bond between man and weapon. The air around Rian was charged with power, but also something pure, almost sorrowful. The sword seemed to mourn. Without warning, a circle of light flared beneath them. Kalith gasped. The sword has chosen a trial. The floor shattered, and they were plunged into a vision. They landed in a desert of shattered stars, an endless void scattered with fragments of light. Massive figures moved in the distance, ancient beings, guardians of the sword's memory. One of them spoke, its voice echoing across dimensions. "Who claims the blade of Valor?" Rian steadied himself. "Rian Solas of humanity. And why do you seek it?" "To save my world." The being's voice rumbled with laughter. Every thief and tyrant has said the same. What will you give in return? Rian hesitated. What do you mean? Caliph whispered. They demand a sacrifice, human. Power always demands a cost. He clenched his jaw. If it means saving my people, anything. The being raised its colossal hand, and before Rian could react, Caliph screamed as her body began to unravel into particles of light. Stop! Rian shouted. Take me instead. She is bound to the sword's legacy, the guardian said. For you to wield its power, her kind must fade. Caliph's expression softened as the light consumed her. Perhaps this is fitting. My people guarded the sword for eons. Maybe it was never ours to keep. Caliph, no. She smiled faintly. Save your world, human. Prove I was wrong about you. Then she was gone. The stars screamed. The light vanished. The turning point. The price of power. Rian found himself back in the citadel, alone. The sword still glowed, but now the light felt heavier. He fell to his knees, grief flooding through him. Then he heard her voice. Do not mourn me, Rian Salas. He looked up. Caliph's form appeared before him. Translucent, her consciousness bound within the sword. I exist within its core now. I can help you wield it. Rian's heart ached. You shouldn't have had to die for this. Neither should your species. But destiny rarely asks for permission. With Caliph's guidance, Rian raised the sword. The citadel's walls burst outward, energy radiating like the dawn of a new sun. The storm cleared, revealing the planet's core network of energy veins, ancient conduits built by the Althari long before humans existed. Focus, Caliph said. The sword can rewrite reality, but only through intent. What do you wish for? Rian closed his eyes. He saw Earth, cities crumbling, oceans black, children coughing under a red sky. I want a second chance for humanity, he whispered. The sword pulsed. The energy surged through him, linking his mind to the network of worlds. He felt every planet, every star, every thread of life connected in one vast symphony. He could change it all. But then Calitha's voice wavered. Rian, the sword is feeding on you, your life force. He smiled faintly. I told you, anything for my people. Light consumed him. His body dissolved into energy, merging with the sword completely. The ending. The legacy of the sword. Years passed. The Althari citadel became a temple once more, but now guarded by both human and Althari pilgrims. They spoke of a miracle. The sword of Velar no longer rested in stone. Instead, it floated above a pedestal, humming softly, encased in golden light. Beneath it, a new world was born from the ashes of the old, lush, green, teeming with life. They called it Solara, a fusion of human technology and Althari wisdom. And within the sword's glow, two voices could be heard when the wind was quiet, one human, one Althari. Rian, you still think destiny belongs to the powerful? Caliph, perhaps not. Perhaps it belongs to those who refuse to surrender.